What's up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to the channel. Brand new workplace comedy starring Shane Gillis on the platform. It's called Tires. Is it funny? Let's talk about it.
Has anyone helped you out yet?
Whoa, you're a big guy.
Like in a good way?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Quick, too?
Not too quick.
No?
So a nervous heir to his father's auto shop is trying to save it from failure and being tormented by his employed cousin Shane. Of course, being played by Shane Gillis. This show is rated TV mature for all of the things that you expect in a show like this starring Shane Gillis. And it's a workplace comedy, man. We've seen countless examples that have thrived, like The Office and Parks and Rec. And really lately, there haven't been a lot of very successful workplace comedies. Blockbuster, they tried to get that off the ground, I believe it was last year. And while I saw some potential there, it really wasn't necessarily a show that landed.
I mean, it's all right.
The first question in the thumbnail. Is this show funny? And it really all depends on your type of humor, your sense of humor. And seeing Shane Gillis, you probably get a sense of what this is going to be. You got some co-workers, they're trying to make things work, but they're making fun of each other. There's sexual innuendos, some dirty jokes in there. The guests coming in the shop, they're being made fun of. They're part of the bit, part of the gag in every episode, while there is a main theme to every single episode and somewhat of an ongoing story throughout these first six. It all really comes down to, Shane Gillis, he's the guy here. But I'd argue Will, being played by Steve Gerben, he's kind of the main character because he's the one that has to make it all work. He's the manager of this place. A lot of it he's doing to try to impress his dad, but really he's doing it to try to keep his store, because there is a plot thread that comes about where people are coming in, they're trying to take it away from our guys, and they're having to prove themselves, although not very successfully, because there's always something going on.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
That's the story. Does the story really matter if you're not laughing? No. And that was kind of my issue with Blockbuster. It's like they were building some interesting plot threads, but I wasn't really responding to the jokes and the sense of humor. It felt a little awkward for me. And a workplace comedy like this, with this style, I mean, everybody's going to make their big-time comparisons, but you have to at least kind of stand out with your humor and not be afraid to push certain boundaries and certain buttons. And I know a lot of people hate Shane Gillis for doing that, and he's kind of restrained in this show. I mean, you've got your jokes that not everyone's going to be on board for, but this isn't the Shane Gillis that you see getting up on stage consistent. Well, I guess it kind of is. But in my opinion, while they'll test a lot of people, they're not going overboard with some of these jokes, which is nice, showing a little bit of restraint. But at the same time, you've got to push some boundaries with something like this if you're going to make people laugh. And admittedly, I laughed a lot more at this than I have at really. I mean, Ted was a fantastic show earlier in the year, but there's not a lot of good TV comedies that is just pure comedy where you don't have to worry about the story or even the character arcs. And admittedly, I kind of found myself caring about some of these characters, or at least enjoying my time with them. You watch a show like this, you want to feel that bond and connection. You don't have to see a lot of growth or a huge arc or something that pulls on your emotional heartstrings every single episode. Some people, they'll watch this and they'll just kind of feel like they're one of the guys, part of the group. And you're just sitting back, relaxing, listening to people riff on each other and make some jokes that are pushing boundaries. But I feel like comedy, sometimes it needs something like that, even if not everyone's going to respond to it. And trust me, not everyone will.
I'm just saying.
But that's the beautiful thing about comedy, right? It's subjective. It's what makes you laugh, makes you chuckle, and being unafraid to just make fun of everybody, even themselves, in this show, for me works. And I enjoyed my time with Tires. I was laughing along the way, Shane Gillis doing the Shane Gillis things, and it's just like he's playing himself, but there's something about the way he responds and reacts. Even at times you can see him smiling and smirking and delivering a line. It's like, he's not really acting. His name is Shane in the show, by the way, but it works because he just has that personality where he can make you laugh no matter what he's saying. But it's more about the delivery rather than the dialogue. And I'm not going to say the dialogue is the strongest in the show, but the jokes worked. And with the comedy, that's all that matters. I guess in a way, very different. It kind of reminds me of Seinfeld. It is literally a show about nothing until you get to the end, and then you realize that there was some sort of arc building up through season one, and you end on a nice note. But it's a show where every single episode you encounter a group of people or, a hardship that they're going through. They have to try to figure it out. Like in one episode, they're trying to build a distinct marketing campaign for this car wash, make it a little more successful. And so that adds in some, more tense moments between employees, but also it's a great place to just add in a bunch of jokes. And then in episode 5, I believe it was the bikini car wash episode, it gets a little off the rails, but it's kind of funny. You know, they get themselves in some crazy situations trying to hoard this group of girls into a trailer out back. Somebody sees them, calls the police, and then they realize, oh, there's a lot of things going wrong. Taking a page out of The Office's book where someone's coming in and trying to buy part of this company. They're going to replace everybody, and they realize that this is one of the most mismanaged groups of people or locations that they've ever seen. And so that provides some funny moments. But the main dynamic between Will and Shane, I mean, that's kind of the driving force of the show. Shane is the guy who breaks all the rules. It doesn't really care what anyone thinks. He's consistently trying to get on the good side of his cousin, but he doesn't really care what his cousin thinks. And then Will, he's trying to run this shop properly, and he's trying to impress his dad, which I think is going to be a reoccurring thing in future seasons. But, you know, he does some things that are really awkward. I think he makes a nice, solid, almost ignorant manager at times. And so in that way, I'm like, yeah, he's kind of a Michael Scott. Very different, but similar. Does that make sense?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
It got renewed for a season 2. And so I think this could kind of build up a cult comedy type of status. And I hope it does. And for me, did it make me laugh? Yeah. Is that the most important thing with a comedic series? Absolutely. Familiar formula, formulaic moments, some jokes that don't land, but not every joke's going to land. So I need your thoughts down below. Do you like Shane Gillis? Did it make you laugh? Is this not your cup of tea? All of those things are okay. This is your open discussion in the comments down below. And follow me, man. We're going to be talking all the brand new Netflix movies and TV shows over the next several years, and then later on, my reaction tonight, review tomorrow for Furiosa. Tires is a formulaic and familiar workplace comedy, but its relaxed style and ability to deliver consistent comedic gags makes for an entertaining and easy watch. The comedic timing is solid, but there's plenty of room to improve on its story. If you all enjoyed this review, dropping that like's the best thing for me, this video, and the algorithm. Thank you guys again. Stay tuned for more content and follow my podcast, Movie Mode. The links are in the description and pinned comment down below. Appreciate you all.